So some might be wondering, okay, so why have they chosen to harass and monitor you of all people? And that is a great question. Seriously, because who am I compared to a, church that has several members, hundreds, and, they're even at the 1,000 marker. And when it comes to members, I mean, why do I need to be on a Dove Award-winning, Grammy Award winners artist radar? And my only conclusion for why Cece and her lawyers at this point, and I'm going to talk about how the lawyer proved that he is a part of the monitoring process too, with everything that I've been dealing with. But the only reason that I can assess that they are still monitoring and harassing me is because of sensitive information I learned about Cece Winans' personal life as well as her family while I was at the church. And it was just happenstance that I began to learn these things about my spiritual leaders. And they weren't the normal pastoral growing pains of what you see pastors go through, to where it's just like, okay, that's normal pastoral mistake stuff. We're talking about character integrity type stuff. And so one main in particular lie that she doesn't, and I'm going to read this because I want to be sure I get it correct. But one main in particular lie that she doesn't want her church congregation to know is that her protege bribed a member of the pastoral staff, threatening to expose their sexual activity with photogenic evidence. If things didn't proceed with what she wanted this particular pastor to do, she was going to expose their sexual activity. And more than likely, this protege of Cece Winans was going to present herself as a victim when it seems like it was consensual sexual activity. Unfortunately, that was definitely out of wedlock at the time. Once her protege got what she wanted, she proceeded to bribe them even further by sleeping around again and using the results of that sexual activity to bribe the pastoral family again. And because Cece Winans could control this woman, she helped her bribe this pastor. And in doing this, Nashville Life Church was bribed along with the pastor, whether they knew it or not. And in turn, Cece Winans' family that runs the church was also bribed. It's a full circle thing. All to keep this secret from becoming public knowledge and to keep Cece Winans and her people, her faction, in control. I am expecting, as I have to dive into the appeal process, and I'm going to talk about that portion of the lawsuit as well. I'm expecting, as I dive more deeper into the appeal process, which was closed due to the initial lawsuit was closed due to Cece Winans and her lawyer's corruption that I dealt with head first on February 6th in a special hearing. What this person mentioned that I talked about above when it comes to the corruption that I've dealt with, they said expect Cece Winans, who is continuing, her camp has continued the harassment and monitoring that I've been dealing with, simply because I don't have an NDA or a contract like so many of these other people surrounding them do have an NDA and contract to keep all this confidential, no matter how ugly and lack of character and lack of integrity that it begins to dwindle and break down to. They told me, expect her to bribe her way during the whole deposition process, to not have to come out and admit and actually present these contracts and NDAs that you are aware of and that you know of, and that that they put up in negotiation with this particular protege. And the abuse and harassment that you're experiencing, and to the extent of it, it makes perfect sense that you're experiencing that. And unless someone legally takes her down, you'll probably continue to experience that, because the things you know about them, it not only probably angers the Jezebel spirit that is driving the abuse and harassment, even after, I've left, but it is something that it seems like they will literally pay to the death to see that their secrets are kept secret. And unfortunately, I have dealt with such evil behavior in the midst of them doing whatever they consider they need to do to save face, while being told by those who know the ugliness of the world and people like this, expect, even if it gets to deposition, for them to bribe them way out of being able or having to produce the truth and those contracts and those NDAs that you know exist.